Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Blessings. What's going on? What's going on, my family? Here we go again. Another Wednesday, another brainstorming session, man. We've been going hard, man. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us every single week at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Definitely shout out to everybody who actually been spending time brainstorming with us down to our special guests. If you just been on, rocking with us, getting them gems, welcome, man. If it's your first time, if you're tapping in with us on YouTube or if you're tapping in with us on Instagram, welcome to another brainstorming session, man, where entrepreneurs, creatives, and community leaders come together weekly, share ideas, solve challenges, and build real strategies that move businesses forward. All in support, it's all about action, at the end of the day. So, we want to make sure that we, providing you guys with all the resources that you need, just like we've been doing, man. Speaking of that, shout out to all of our members, mentors, and advisors, man. We've been going hard this year. We're in the second half, and we already been doing some amazing things. It's super great, to really just sit back and be able to, see all of our community come together, and everybody doing, their own thing, and everybody in their own bag. But everybody just coming together is so great. All of our different campaigns we've been running this year has been running so smooth, man. It's all about you guys, man. You guys motivate us, and hopefully, we continue on motivating you guys to keep on pushing, man. It's super hard. We know it's super hard to build something great. And that's what we're here for, man, to continue on dropping gems on you guys, providing you guys resources, and, for the most part, brainstorming. This week, we got another special guest, man, so throw them fire signs in the chat if you already locked in with us live. Again, man, we live on YouTube and Instagram. We also on M.O.B TV, man, so make sure you guys check out M.O.B TV. We got a lot of great content that we've been dropping on you guys. Every single week we've been dropping consistent content for you guys. So make sure you guys check that out. We got a lot of content on there for you guys, man. We just want to make sure that we bring you guys something positive, man, something that can actually feed your soul. So we got a lot of different stories, a lot of different motivational stories on there from different business owners, different community leaders, commercials we did produce, event recaps, the whole nine, man. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, man, make sure you guys check out our memberships. Definitely put in your applications. This is the best time. It's summertime. It's a lot going on. We got a lot of different resources for you guys this year. From video and audio production, social media marketing. If you need your websites, if you need your custom merch, your logos revamped. Whether you're starting a business or if you're revamping your business or you're just looking to, take it to the next level, dust a few things off. Definitely make sure you guys check that out as well. On top of that, make sure you guys download the Enterprise Theater channel on Roku TV. We've been doing some amazing things with them. So we've been rocking with them for a minute, man. Shout out to our partners over there. But I don't want to hold you guys up too much longer. I actually want to, introduce our special guest for the day. Actually, as well, he was actually, we actually, did a spotlight post on him and his business. He's been doing some amazing things in the community, man. Keith, are you there?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's it going, King?
Going good. Just walking these dogs, man.
Hey, man, for sure, man. You got to stay working. I appreciate you for, just taking time out to brainstorm with us. Real quick, man, introduce yourself for those that don't know. Let them know what you do and what you got going on.
Okay. So my name is Keith. I work in the pet industry. I have a dog walking, sitting, and training company. So I pretty much help busy entrepreneurs, busy professionals help walk their dog. Whenever people go out of town, I can dog sit, and then anybody that has a puppy or older dog, if they need training, that's where I come in at. I think it's muted.
I love it. I love it. Nah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So what really, inspires you to kind of jump off the porch and become an entrepreneur and really jump into that industry?
Yeah, so my background, I used to work with kids with autism. So I was in the school system for a little bit. During the pandemic, that's what really like kind of fueled me to really make that decision of going the entrepreneur route. I just wanted to kind of be my own boss and really just make my own schedule and just kind of build my own wealth. And I always had a passion working with kids, but I also had a passion working with animals too. And I don't know, just something about working with animals. Like you just can't be mad. I mean, when you see a cute little doodle or a golden retriever, it's kind of hard to be mad when you're around dogs. So that's really what inspired me.
I love it. I love it. Most definitely. Hey, it's a lot of pet lovers. We talked about that before, man. You got the cheat code, especially when it comes to branding. Speaking of branding, what's the biggest mistakes? What's the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make when building their brand, and how do you think they can fix that?
The biggest thing for me is not really looking for handouts. Oh, sorry about that.
There we go. There we go.
Can okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just building your brand where customer service is number one. Um, that's one thing I just always like to tell people. Like, work on customer service. People aren't just going to buy into your business because you're their cousin or because you're the next door neighbor. Like, actually have a good product and actually check up on your clients. Also, check up on your workers as well, because you just never know what people are going through on a day to day, and it's just good to have good customer service. I think it's muted. I can't hear you.
No, you touched on something that was super super important. And in a minute, I really want to touch on that. I got a great question. And especially for the people that's typing in live, man. If you guys have, if you guys want to post your answers in the chat, man, I want to see, you guys' point of view as well, man. I appreciate you. We got great work, man. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So if you tapping in live, man, definitely don't be afraid to answer these questions as well, man. I want to see y'all point of view. Real quick, man, I really want to talk about marketing. And it's super big in today's economy. In today's content heavy world, what's one underrated marketing move that still drive results?
For me, I would say word of mouth. Honestly, I have so many clients that I've had maybe for 8 to 9 years now, and just those clients alone have brought in so many other clients. So when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're doing a good job, people are just naturally just going to refer you. They're gonna be like, hey, I have a dog walker or dog sitter. He's really good. He's trustworthy. He shows up on time. He updates me. So when you do that, like word of mouth spreads faster than any marketing tool out there. And that's honestly what's been fueling my business.
Nah, I definitely can contest to that. Word of mouth is super, super important. Same thing for us. Pretty much most of the people that we work with is either off of a referral or off of us is really just getting out there, bumping shoulders, kissing babies, doing the things that we got to do in our communities. It's really, we have social media and it's so great. It's a great tool, for us to connect and build bridges, everywhere. But at the same time, it's so important for us to really connect, build that trust, that one-on-one trust. And don't don't be afraid to refer somebody, man. It's free. Speaking of that, we do have an affiliate program. Anybody wanna, that wanna become an affiliate, you can definitely apply. We're always looking for people that's not afraid to get out there and really just meet new people, build relationships, and get these people to kind of share more light on the community and the great things that we got going on. Same thing with you. We definitely is looking forward to getting people linked in with you, and that's really what's what we need to bring back. Because we got all this, especially with this AI stuff, man. It's super
Yeah.
crazy right now with the AI. What do you feel, as far as where we're going with the AI? Do is it a positive thing? Do you think it's a negative thing?
I feel like it could be good and bad at the same time. But I feel like right now, I feel like everybody just needs to kind of educate themselves. And even if you feel like your business doesn't have AI right now, still learn about it because maybe 2 years down the line, maybe 5 years down the line, your industry might need AI. So you have the tools now so you can kind of be ahead of your competition. Now your competition is looking at you like, oh, he started a new wave with this AI. Like, let me contact him because it's not always about competing with your competition, but sometimes just networking and hey, I've tried this AI stuff. How has it worked with you guys? Like, have you guys seen any results? So I feel like AI can work really well with the business, but just like I said, just educating yourself more on it.
Yeah, most definitely. That's something that we've been trying to do more with our community as well. Is get more people educated, behind AI. We did a whole segment. Shout out to D Hudson. He's a stack developer, and he's really great. We did a whole segment a few months ago, and where he basically just showed us how to build an app with AI tools. Put us into a few new tools and show us how to build our own AI agents, which is something that we've been getting into a lot more lately with the mob, and helping our members with automation as well. It's a lot of different things. We're one of those companies that believe in incorporating AI in as many ways as possible. So if you have any type of corporation or company, I definitely think it's super important for you to incorporate some type of AI tools within what you're doing. Starting with something simple as Chat GPT, which is getting more advanced every day. So I love it, man. I love it. I think you really touched on some key things. How often should I really want to kind of touch on planning. A lot of people kind of always jump right into creating content and starting a business and jump head first. But how often should entrepreneurs revisit and adjust their business plan, and what triggers a necessary change?
Just I guess depending on your drive, honestly. But for me personally, I say you need to be looking at your business plan or any type of goals weekly. I know I would look at mine daily, just to give you that inspiration because you might have a bad day and you might not reach that goal. Reset the date. I've had goals that I had to keep pushing back until I actually reached it. So if your goal is, hey, June 20th, I need to get X amount of dollars and you don't reach that goal, don't be sad, don't be mad, don't be upset. Just push it to June 25th and be proactive. Don't just keep pushing your date back. Oh, I get to it in 2 weeks, I get to it in 3 weeks. No, like be proactive. And the more that you look at your goals, the closer you'll get to it because I've had goals like literally when I first started a business, I'm actually seeing it come to life now. And I started a business right after the pandemic. So depending on your goal and depending on how you structure it, it might happen in 2 weeks. And then some goals, it might happen 2, 3 years down the line because depending on your business, your industry, who you're networking, who you're talking to, that all helps fuel your business ideas and your goals and just getting there closer.
No, most definitely. I definitely agree, for sure, man. That's super, super key. Real quick, man, I really want to talk about, something that's super important for our sales and lead generation. This is something that a lot of businesses, is really still trying to crack that code, man. We all out here trying to find more clients, and really trying to build those relationships. What's your go-to method to turning cold leads into loyal clients?
So for me, there's three aspects of my business. So I'm doing dog walking, dog sitting, and training. So if I get a lead and they're calling me for dog walking, as I'm asking questions about dog walking, I'm also asking questions on dog sitting and training as well. So if I don't close that deal with dog walking, I might put a bug in their ear like, hey, we can't help you out dog walking, but I know you said that your dog was pulling on the leash, or hey, I know you said you had some trips coming up, so we can't get them in the dog walking space, but hey, we might be able to get them by, you know, the dog walking space or being able to train their dog. So for me, I'm not afraid of no's, because like I said, in this industry, there's so many people coming in, calling day in, day out. If somebody says no, I mean, that's perfectly fine. Just go on to the next one. So don't harp on it so much. Of course, follow up. Hey, I reached out a couple days ago, just checking in to see, if you still need dog sitting or if you need a dog trainer. The worst that can happen is they could say no, or hey, I don't have the funds right now, but I have your contact information. Hey, 2 months might go by. They might need you again. They got another puppy. Hey, my hands are full. Um, I got a new job and I'm working in the office Monday through Friday now. So I need you guys. So just never take no as, uh, don't take no personal. Like, honestly, don't take it personal. Because people are, like I said, are always going to say no, but there's always going to be people that say yes too. So, count those small wins.
Most definitely, most definitely. I think that's what comes with the game, man. You're going to get sometimes a million no's before you get a yes. It's all about staying persistent, and staying on it. We've had a lot of people actually thank us for, following up with them because life be life, and man, sometimes people is just, going on with their daily, duties, and get a little sidetracked. So it's always good, super important for us to follow up, and stay persistent. Sometimes you might feel like you're getting on somebody's nerves, and I rather people will tell you, they'll let you know, you take those signs, and like you said, it may come, months down the line. We've had a lot of that where sometimes we've had people come a year later and
Yeah.
lock with us, based off of the follow ups, and say, hey man, I'm so glad you've been keeping in touch with us. Thank you so much, man. Because they've been going through stuff. So time
Yeah.
is everything. Stay persistent, man. You gotta love this thing, man. I think that's really where it starts. Passion. You gotta love what you
Yeah.
do for sure. So real quick, man, we touched on this a little bit earlier when we were talking about customer service. What's one small thing a business can do to leave a big impression on their customers?
Um, the biggest thing for me is just like checking in. Depending on what industry you have. So for instance, I'm dog walking, dog sitting. So just letting my clients know, like, hey, how have the walkers been doing? Or hey, you guys been with me for a while. Here's, 10% off. Or a referral fee. Like I have a referral fee for my current clients that refer people out. So it's just an extra incentive to let them know, like, hey, I appreciate you guys for referring these people out because at the end of the day, it's free, but you don't have to refer anybody. You could just take the service and hoard it for yourself, honestly. Like you don't have to tell anybody else about the service. So for me, it's just really appreciating the client and just letting them know, like, hey, like, thank you. Like I wouldn't be this far. Like honestly, I wouldn't even be on this live if I didn't have the clientele that I have. I would have never seen you. Your team would have never found me because I would have just gave up because I'm like, man, I don't have any clients. But showing that appreciation, having good customer service, checking in. I mean, it's so important. We have busy lives, they have busy lives, but just shooting a quick little text like, hey, I appreciate you guys. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn out message all the time,
Right?
depending on what clients you have, of course. But just something small and light. Sending them a postcard. That's one thing that I'm trying to do next month and just have a big event showing my clients like, hey, we made it to year two. I appreciate you guys. And just have fun with it. Like I feel like if this is what you love to do and this is your passion, have fun with it. Have fun making sales. Have fun meeting new clients. Have fun like hiring new people, having them excited because if you're excited, they're gonna be excited. But if you're like, man, it's gonna be hard to find these clients. Like that stems to your workers too, and then your workers aren't performing, and then your clients are like, "Hey, like they kind of half-assed it today. Like they only walked my dog for 15 minutes, and they're supposed to walk my dog for 30 minutes." So you gotta bring that enthusiasm because if you do that, your clients see that, and it just makes everybody happy altogether.
Yeah, it brings it full circle, man. You definitely gotta love what you do. It brings back that passion. You know, you gotta have that passion in whatever you do, because people feel that energy, man. You know, down to your team, keeping them pumped and motivated. You know, this is something that I'm super big on, motivating the team, keeping people pushing. Sometimes that's all somebody needs. That quick little
Yeah.
motivation, real quick. And I think we all need that. You know, at a certain point in our life. Real quick, man, what's the most overlooked funding opportunities for small business owners, especially in underserved communities?
I would say like utilize Score Mentor. Um, they have opportunities where you can go in there and get somebody to help you get a grant. A lot of people just don't know how to write a grant. So they have people that can set you up and actually structure your business plan where it makes sense because a lot of people get denied because of the language they use, because their business isn't, I guess, actually structured properly, like just the basic things. And as far as grants, you don't have to pay that, but pay that back. So that's free funding that you can get and actually utilize it to help scale your business, grow your business, and also like give back to the community as well.
Oh man, you just dropped a major gem, man. I appreciate you that for sure. That's super big, man. You know, the grants are super big. Shout out to Skip. That was one of the foundations and companies we've been working with, helping our members get grants. Shout out to everybody who actually won a grant this year, and got some extra funding. Whether it was through a grant or a loan or anything like that. Hey, we still got that funding. We got a lot to do, and having that plan, to always come. Definitely, you can always join the mob community if you need that help with that business structure, your business plan. Because you're definitely right. There's a lot of companies, that really just don't structure their business right. And sometimes we don't know. I'm one of those people, that really, I'm a corporate, myself. Where
Yeah.
my early companies, I didn't really structure everything right. We had to go back to the drawing board. But these are things that we're teaching, and this is the reason why. Because we thinking longevity. We want to make sure that you have your website, your business structure, together. Far as your DUNS, your EIN, your business address, your business number, your business email. Making sure that you have all your whole structure put together, so we can open up more doors for especially when it comes to funding. So you hit one on the head. And I appreciate you for that, Joe, for sure, for sure. So real quick, man, let's talk
Yeah.
about networking and partnerships. This is something that's super big for us. Like you said, we big on really stuff in the ground, getting out here and talking to people. What makes a collaboration or partnership truly mutual beneficial in a business?
When that passion is there, you guys can have two different industries and still come together and make it work. But that passion has to be there. It has to really align with what you have going on and what that person has going on because partnerships can be, tricky. But as long as you guys both have a clear mind and a clear head of like what you guys want to accomplish and how can we align this together, I mean, partnerships are, man, powerful, man.
Like teamwork make the dream work. Teamwork make the dream work. Most definitely, most definitely. So real quick, man, I really want to talk about legal structure and protection. What's one legal protection you think every entrepreneur should prioritize early on?
Honestly, like this is one thing that I'm searching for right now. It's just getting a lawyer. Like just you just never know what could possibly happen in your business, and just having somebody that can actually guide you through if you ever have to take legal action or if somebody takes legal action on you. Like that's one thing that people kind of sleep on until like something happens. Like so that's what I'm doing right now, just trying to find somebody that can actually guide me through and actually help me on the legal side. So if I get hit with, hey, you didn't pay taxes, or if you didn't do this, you didn't do that, I actually know how to maneuver and what to say so I'm not fined or, it could be worse than what it is. So honestly, just finding a lawyer, like I feel like that's something that people really sleep on until tragedy happens.
Most definitely, most definitely. Gotta have them peoples in your corner. Gotta have them peoples that really, especially, you just gotta have people that know the game, know the chessboard,
Yeah.
know how to play it. It's a lot of loopholes, and not even just for the negativity, the negative side. Having people that can walk you through these loopholes on how to pay the least amount of taxes available. There's different things like that, man. You always want to have those people in your corner for sure, for sure.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
let's talk about tech, man. We talked about AI a little bit real quick. But what's one simple tech tool or automation that help you save time or scale faster?
So for me, we have this app. It's called Time to Pet. So pretty much is automated. So whenever we get a new client, they go in there, they fill out the information, so they can put their dog's date of birth, type of dog they have, their vet information, vaccines, all that's automated. So pretty much whenever the walker sees it, the walker can see how to get in, they can see their address, any alarm codes, they can pretty much see all that. So it's easy breezy when it comes to going inside a client's home. If there's any like extra tips or anything like that, that's why we schedule meet and greets. But the software that we have, it's amazing. I can use it to schedule people. I can use it to keep track of our numbers. So who's the highest paid client, all the way to like detailed stuff like the walkers, like the times that they're checking in. Like I can see pretty much everything. So I could be in California and make sure like, hey, such and such, they didn't check in today. So I can go in there and email them, text them, hey, make sure you sign in. You didn't clock in today. And then that's when they would just tell me, hey, I'm sorry, I forgot to start the timer. So it's a good tool to have, and also it's good for marketing too because a lot of businesses don't have that. They're still texting their clients. So just having a software just makes you look more professional. And you can honestly use that to promote your business more. Like, hey, this is what helps me stand out. We have a software that we use, it's encrypted, all your information is safe. And then that's also how we update the client. So they can go in there, any type of time of the day, they could be on a cruise or whatever the case may be. Everything is time stamped, and they can literally see all the photos that we sent, if their dog ate that morning, if they didn't eat, if they used the bathroom. Like, man, I mean, this software it was a game changer. And honestly, somebody told me about it, and that was one thing I was searching for when I first started. Like, how can I keep track of all these walkers and actually know they're showing up on time, they're actually being there at the client's house? And like I said, networking is so important. And I met this girl, and she pretty much helped me out as much as possible. And like I said, it's been a game changer ever since. Ever since.
Hey, your net worth or your network is your net worth, man, for sure. I mean, just like you dropping jewels, it's somebody listening that can really use these tools that we're talking about, and it could be a game changer for them. That's what this is all about. That's the beauty about really connecting, dropping jewels, and kind of going from there. You're only as good as the people around you. So I love that. I love that. Speaking of people around you, speaking of leadership and team building, how do you identify, when it's time to hire or delegate, and who should be the first key player?
Okay. Um, so when it comes to hiring, I try to kind of scale it based off of the clientele that's coming in and what area we really need to focus on. So I use this for example. The Buckhead schedule might be amazing, but yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry about that.
There you go.
Um, yeah, so I might have, you know, my Walker and Buckhead, and they might be able to take on two more clients. But if they're not able to take on 4 to 5, that's when I need to start searching for a new Walker in that area just to kind of help, relieve their schedule. Because one thing about me, like, I always just like to tell my walkers, like, hey, if this is too much, like, let me know. Like, the money is good, but your mental is very important for me. Like, so if you're walking a lot of dogs, or if you're driving super far for these dogs, like, let me know so I can make those adjustments in the schedule, and I could just tweak some things, and then, like I said, just hire somebody. Um, when it comes to hiring, like I said, I'm just looking for somebody that's fired up. that's passionate, trustworthy, because we are going into people's homes, and this is somewhere that people find this is the most valuable place that you can possibly have. Like your home is like your safe haven. So I just want to make sure that I'm hiring somebody that I can trust going into these houses that aren't going to be looking around the house, snooping around, trying to look, oh, they got this, they got that, or, telling their friends about it. Like, I just want somebody that actually is there for the dog, that loves the dogs. Even cats, we do cats as well. So we do cat sitting. So even if you're not a dog friendly person, we have opportunities for cat sittings as well. So just being flexible as well, a team player, and somebody that just communicates. Because, like you said, like life will life regardless, whether you have millions of dollars, if you have $10, like
Yeah,
life will life regardless. And the biggest thing for me is just communicate because I don't know what you're going through from Monday through Sunday. I really don't. So just like communicate with me. Hey, Keith, today's a little hard for me. Do you mind if I show up, a little later for the schedule? And I can make those adjustments or have a floater kind of fill in. But if you're just trying to thug it through and you know you let go of the leash because you're drained or you're tired, that's something that could have been avoided if you just communicate to me, because I'm not the type of boss that's going to like grill you and be all in your face and stuff like that. I'm understanding and I know, things happen, but the biggest thing, like I said, just let me know. Like, I don't know. Like, I have calls all day. I'm walking dogs myself. I'm training. So the more that you communicate with me, the easier things will go. And like I said, my team definitely has been doing really good with that since we kind of talked about it. Like, just let me know. Like, this is a fun job. It's nothing crazy that goes on. Our hardest part is the elements. Like the weather has been so trash lately. Like that's like one of the hardest parts. And Georgia traffic too. Like Georgia traffic is pretty bad. So,
yeah,
but outside of those two things, like it's a fun job. Like I try not to make it stressful. Like I said, we have a team bonding event coming up. So it's just like it's fun. It's a good community to be around. So if that fits you and that fits the culture that you want to be a part of, like that makes hiring so much easier. When I can look at your resume, okay, this checks, and then just having that one-on-one conversation and just seeing you light up, talk about dogs. Like, tell me about that's one of my first questions. Like, tell me about one of your crazy dog walking stories because I could literally write a book about the hundreds of stories I've had with different dogs, different breeds. So that's just a light question just to kind of get their mind going and just thinking outside the box. Like, man, I did have a crazy story that I need to tell him and share because you just never know. That might be a story that might help a walker later down the line if they're handling a certain dog. So I just like hearing stories like that.
I love that. I love that. It's super great to get that feedback. Communication is definitely key with any relationship. We're super big on that for sure. That's why we're big on typing in with our people around the world on our live every single Wednesday. Tapping in with our members every week for our production calls because it's super important. Man, we gotta tap in with each other for sure. You just never know what each other's going through, mentally as well. So we got to be there for each other, on top of, on top of everything for sure. Real
Yeah.
quick, what type of content do you think is working the best for growing brand awareness right
Um, I say something that is visually appealing. So for instance, like I use my industry. If you have a dog, I seen a crazy one the other day. A dog pushing a shopping cart. It doesn't have to be any audio. It doesn't have to be anything playing in the background. When you
now?
see a dog pushing a shopping cart, like you're
Yeah,
either gonna smile, you're gonna laugh, like you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I need to share this." Like that's
yeah,
shareable content. So for me, or just any industry, like just the visual aspect, I feel like that's the first thing you see. Like when you're scrolling through Instagram, the visual, like the sound just aids to that. The music, how certain things are positioned that aids to that. But for me, I feel like visual, like that's the biggest thing for any industry, honestly.
I love that. I love that. So you would say it's really more so the shock value. What's really gonna grasp your attention for sure. I love that. I
Yeah,
love and that's something that we've really been working on, especially with our social media campaign for our different members, figuring out what type of shock value that we can really give them, but still keep it, um, you know, tasteful. You know what I mean? We don't want
Mhm.
to try people too much. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
time, we've really been doing great with really getting people engaging, shaking people's minds up, motivating people through what's going on as well, showing them, different motivational quotes and different things like that. So, yeah, man, the shock value motivation is super key. I love that for sure, for sure. Real quick, man, we've been talking about mindset a lot lately. It's super important, especially now where mental health is everything, man. It's so important, to stay on top of our mental health, and make sure, especially as business owners, really just figuring out, how can we shift as business owners versus, um, shifting through our daily lives, man. So, what do real quick, what mental shift help you level up in your business, and how do you stay motivated, on them tough days, man, when you really just feel like giving up?
I'm gonna kind of go sideways with this question, but for me, like just going to the gym, like for me, like going to the gym and just hooping just helps reset my whole mind. So I can literally have a crazy day going on. Somebody could have called out. We could have lost a client, like all kinds of stressful things going on. But when I go to the gym and just hoop, like I could just clear my head, clear my mind. Also just scheduling at least once a month to get a massage, just being able to just relax and not think about anything, like literally something crazy could have happened, just get a massage, just relax, and then just regroup. And then from there, I just kind of set some goals. I set mini goals so can set myself up for accomplishing a big goal. So if I had a crazy week and I really didn't really accomplish anything, so I start setting small goals so I can get those small wins to kind of build myself back up if I got derailed a little bit. And then from there, like I feel like I'm back on track, and once I get going, like it's no stopping me. Like, so I feel like just going to the gym, just getting that mental break, just getting away from things, honestly, that just helps me reset.
I love that. I love that. Most definitely, man. Last but not least, man, what's some advice that you would give somebody that's out there building their brand, that up and coming business owner?
The biggest thing is consistency. Um, Even if you have $1 million business or $1 million idea, you want to make sure you're consistent with it and also structure, because you don't want to build $1 million business and then you lose it 2 days later. So that's one thing that I'm just continue trying to implement is just structure, structure, structure. I want to structure this business where there's levels. So, 250,000, 500,000, a million, 2 million, 3 million. Like you got to have levels for yourself. So if you do fall short, like I said, just regroup, just restart, revamp some things and keep going. Don't stop because you didn't accomplish that goal for the day. Don't stop because you didn't accomplish that goal for that month. Just keep going. So, like I said, consistency for me is key, and also structure.
I love it. I love it. Consistency is definitely key. Real quick, man, let them know where to find you, man, and what you got coming up next, and then give the mob a quick shout out.
Okay. So you guys can find me on Instagram at the real young canine and on Facebook, Young Canine as well. And I definitely want to give a proud shout out to the mob. Like I appreciate you guys for letting me come on today, and many blessings, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much for just doing what you're doing and just being passionate, man. I love connecting with people that just love what they do, man. I appreciate you taking out the time to drop so many gems, man. If you live with us still, man, drop some fire signs in that chat. Fill up that chat. Follow somebody else, man. Drop your websites, drop your social medias. You guys already know how we do it every single week. Man, we just had so many gems within that, man. Make sure you guys check out the recap, definitely, and pick up some of them gems that you may left on the floor, especially for those that came in late. We do post our recaps on our YouTube. Also, you can go on Mob TV or the Enterprise Theater channel on Roku TV, man. We have the 6 million viewers. Shout out to everybody who's really just been supporting us all through the way. You already know how we got to end it. I got to give you guys an assignment. This has actually been an assignment all month. Shout out to everybody who actually been knocking out their assignments. It's super great, to see you guys proactive These are things that you want to do anyway. So for this month, I want you guys to make a customer journey mapping. I want you guys to map out a customer's journey from first contact to post sale. I want you guys to highlight pain points and opportunities for memorable interactions to enhance that customer experience, man. Because we're nothing without our customers, we're nothing without our clients, we're nothing without our community, man. So, hey, again, man, shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us, everybody who tapped in with us this week. Until next time, man, I'll talk to you shortly. Be blessed. Let's go.